Hello, Daily Drafters, and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft, where we will attempt to pick up not exactly where we left off on Friday, but start anew from where we were on Friday in today's Pack 1 Pick 1 of Premier Draft Murders at Karlov Manor. Getting to start with an unyielding gatekeeper is always fun. White is the best color in the format by a good bit. All the commons are quite busted, and unyielding gatekeeper is a great reason at rare to also go into white. If this card weren't here, what else could we take? Harry Dronesmith, not bad, but not great. Tunnel Tipster, one of the better green commons. Eliminate the Impossible is a blue card that I do like. And Surveillance Monitor, maybe, I don't know. I tried blue-green. I had mixed success with it. I think we went 5-3 with the one blue-green deck I have tried here on the channel, but this is a pretty easy unyielding gatekeeper for me, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and take here. Got two rares in the pack, even though one was a land. Now, what can we follow it up with? Well, unfortunately, there are no white cards left in the pack. There is a Crowd Control Warden, which is kind of a white card. There's also Living Conundrum. Is today the Living Conundrum day? This is kind of how you get into it. You have bad packs, and then you just take a Living Conundrum pick too. There's also a Flourishing Bloomkin, which I don't mind. In fact, I like. It's just I do like Crowd Control Warden, and I do like Flourishing Bloomkin. These are both pretty close to me. With an unyielding gatekeeper, which I think is better than Conundrum, that's the reason I'm not going to take it. If I wasn't attached to my first pick like I currently am, probably would take it here, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Bloomkin and see where to go from here. So, Case of the Pilfered Proof. Whenever a detective ETB is under your control and it's turned faced up, you get a counter on it. 3 or more detectives, you solve it, and then get clues as well. Well, what else do we have? I'm not actually a big fan of Forum Familiar. I don't think this card is that great. Every time my opponents have played it, it just comes in as a 1-mana 1/1 with no abilities, which is not very good. There is a Sample Collector, a Phantom, a Sanguine Savior. I think the Case of the Pilfered Proof has the highest upside here. If we can somehow find our way into blue-white, which is an archetype I haven't yet played, and look, we've got some options here. Case of the Filched Falcon, Projector Inspector for blue-white detectives, Eliminate the Impossible as well. We are putting our neighbors likely into blue, which, you know, doesn't feel good, but we are taking some good cards for us. I think I'm going to take the Projector Inspector if we're going to maximize our Case of the Pilfered Proof. I think Projector Inspector is the way to do that. Filched Falcon is also good. I think this is good. It's better in a blue-red shell for me, so I'm going to take the Inspector here and get past a pick 5 Makeshift Binding and a pick 5 Torch the Witness. Removal isn't at its best in this format, but these are two good removal spells to take, tell you that. So let's take the Makeshift Binding and see if we can get ourselves deeper into white here. And look at that. There is an Out Cold. I do like Out Cold. 4 mana. Can't be countered. Tap 2 things. Put stun counters on them. There's also Dramatic Accusation, but not as high on that. So let's take the Out Cold here. Well, Jaded Analyst is a detective. And if we're doing it right, this could be able to attack every now and then. I'm not missing out on really anything here by taking this Jaded Analyst. So I'm going to go ahead and take that, and we are up to, well, just 2 detectives and 4 creatures, but that's okay. Well, if we do think we're going detectives, a copy of Thinking Cap might not be too bad. On the Job, I don't know if we're going to be an on the job deck yet. We could be. We might also not be. And Behind the Mask, I don't think is a card I'm going to take here, so let's take the Thinking Cap, and look at that. Eliminate the Impossible came back as well as Deduce, but I actually like Eliminate a little bit better. And I think our deck is pretty much open. I do like blue-white in the format. I've had... Ooh, look at that. Living Conundrum came back anyway. Probably not, but you never know. We'll see. All right, we've got another thinking cap or a benthic criminologist. I don't think I'm playing a second cap, and honestly probably not even playing a benthic criminologist, so do that. Put the phantom. Well, I guess we could play this as a detective. Is that better than defenestrated phantom? Yeah, potentially in our deck. I don't think I'll want it, but you never know. And a last pick, expose the culprit. No thank you. Okay, what can we find in pack 2? Some good cards, but man, not really for us. Sharp-Eyed Rookie is great. Buried in the Garden is great. Living Onlooker is good. Torch the Witness is good. But all of those are literally in all the colors that we are not. There's a Seasoned Consultant. I don't think we need that. It is a detective, though. There's another Out Cold. There's a Crowd Control Warden. I might just take Out Cold here. I guess I could try to splash Buried in the Garden. Is that worth doing? The upside is probably higher on attempting to do that. If we find ourselves access to one or two of the Evolving Wilds variants, I guess I'll take this. I think the upside is higher here. If I want another Out Cold, I could probably get access to one. Burden of Guilt, not where you want to be when it comes to removal. What is this one? 2 mana, draw a card. Beginning of combat, if you've drawn more than one card this turn, put X 1/1 counters on a creature where X is the number of cards you draw in this turn -1. It's either that or Inside Source. These are pretty close to me. I think our deck is really going to want an Inside Source a whole lot more. I really hope we can find ourselves access to a Private Eye at this point. That's really what we're looking like we're going to be trying to do. And I think Prof's Eidetic Memory, I think is good. I would play this, but I think we just have to take the Inside Source for our deck. Is this an Assemble the Player's deck? 4 creatures so far. Power 2 or less, we've got Inside Source. Jaded Analyst doesn't work. Projector Inspector doesn't work. Unyielding Gatekeeper doesn't work. I mean, so far it's really just not. I guess I could just take another Out Cold. Like I said, if I want one, I could probably get one at some point. There's also a Granite Witness, which is arguably as good. You know what? I think I'll take my first Granite Witness over my first Out Cold. Willing to try that. Or my second Out Cold. I'd probably take my first Out Cold over the Witness there, but that was my second. Alright, Filched Falcon again. Crime Stopper Sprite. Another Assemble the Players. Due Diligence could be a playable card for us. I think I might take the Sprite here. Again, I do like the Filched Falcon. We just don't have any Novice Inspectors. We do have a Thinking Cap. We're not making like a ton of clues yet. This is a card I would absolutely include into my deck. It's just I think Crime Stopper Sprite is doing exactly what we're trying to do already. So I'll take that here. This is also another detective. If we end up with a little bit of a more aggressive draw, I think the Consultant could be good. Could play Wrench, especially if we get one of those Pilfered Proofs back. But I think I'll take the 2-drop here. Okay, nothing I think I'm playing here. Essence of Antiquity, I don't think is the answer. I don't think I want to play Behind the Mask, but I guess I could take it for consideration. And maybe Hotshot Detectives. I don't know exactly what our deck is trying to do yet, and if we're going to be wanting to cast 6-drops. I guess I'll take the Investigators here. Okay, I think Sudden Setback is a playable card over a Behind the Mask. I think I could go ahead and put one of those in my deck here. And got a whole lot of nothing for us here. Just go ahead and throw an Sanitation Automaton into the sideboard. And we are up to 6 detectives. Only really 1 detective payoff. Oh, I said if those Pilfered Proofs comes back, I meant, oh, look at this. We got it back anyway. Out Cold. But I meant the Filched Falcon ones. Out Cold or Crowd Control Warden. I think I'm looking to be a little bit more of a tempo deck here, so I'll take another Out Cold. But again, note that Crowd Control Warden is a card I would play. I don't know if I'll play 3 Out Colds. I think I'll take the Exit here over a Burden of Guilt. I guess I could play 2 Crocodilfs. I don't think I'm playing Antiquity, but yeah, I don't know. Accusation, maybe. Who knows? Depends if we end up with a little less interaction than I think I want. Okay, here's our fixing and escape tunnel for the Buried in the Garden. There's also another sprite and a surveillance monitor. Whenever you collect evidence, create a Thopter, and you can ETB and collect evidence 4. And we have Crime Stopper sprite as our only other way to do that. So would I rather just get another sprite or get a surveillance monitor and see if we can collect evidence a little bit more? I think I just want the sprite. We're not really collecting evidence a whole lot in this deck. So I'll just take the sprite as a good little tempo play on top. Wow, there's a lot of stuff for us here. Gosh, what is this pack? Novice Inspector, I think, blows both of these commons out of the water, so I'll reserve that for now. Kellen would mean splashing green as well. Kellen is good, but we might not even want to be splashing green at all. Another surveillance monitor, I already passed on 1, and then a furtive courier, but that's not really a detective. So I guess I narrowed it down to Novice Inspector here, and I think that's what I'm going to take. As good as I think Kellen is, I'm just going to go ahead and take the Novice Inspector. Now we do have Escape Tunnel. Here's where we could potentially try to splash the Buried in the Garden, because we could take that over Griffknot, Tracker, Criminologist, Investigators. Yeah, pretty easy Escape Tunnel for me here. Alright, I guess now's the time we take Case of the Filched Falcon. Especially now that we got a Novice Inspector that's pretty good, especially with the Thinking Cap. I think this is going to be pretty darn good in our deck. Man, lots of great cards left. Shock, Gear Drake, Tin Street Gossip. But let's take Case of the Filched Falcon. I mentioned I don't know if I would play 3 Out Colds. I'm not going to play an Essence. I'm not going to play 3 Crocodilfs. And I don't know about Vigilante. We're a little light on creatures as it is. We're going to be a little bit more of a tempo control deck here, and I think there's a better chance I play the Out Cold. I don't think I really want to play either of these cards. A 5-mana 4/3 flyer with slight upside and make your move. I don't think I'm playing them, so I'll put that in the board here. We have a Wall, we have a Griffknot Tracker, and an Agency Outfitter. But we do have a Thinking Cap. So maybe we could put this at the top of our curve. It is a detective, so I think it might be playable. Okay, another Granite Witness. That's pretty good for us. I will definitely play that. I could play a Gadget Technician as a disguised creature. I don't think I'll need to do that, though, so I'll throw that in the board. Reasonable Doubt is probably another playable for us. Griffknot Tracker could be a playable. We'll see when I get to deck build here. Any chance that other Escape Tunnel comes back? I don't think it does, but you never know. Probably not. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, we ended up with 11 detectives, and that's going to be pretty good with Case of the Pilfered Proof and a Thinking Cap, Outfitter, Projector Inspector. So yeah, this could work out. In essence, last pick. All right, I'm going to go ahead and build this deck, and I will see you after deck building. All right, here is where I ended up. I am going to try 16 lands in this deck. That could be wrong in this format. We've only got 2 Granite Witnesses and I guess an Unyielding Gatekeeper that have Disguise here. We've got a couple of 6s, really not a lot of mana sinks. This is going to be equipping for 1, and other than that, like, we're not really using our mana. I guess Inside Source is a bit of a mana sink, but Not one that I would really consider adding an extra land for. Um, got a couple of 4s, but that's nothing 16 lands can't solve. Good ways to investigate if we get stuck on land. So I'm going to try this out as 16 lands here. Ended up with 11 detectives, 13 creatures, and a good amount of control and tempo elements. I'm excited for this deck. Haven't played blue-white yet. Haven't played blue-white yet. I think it's going to be pretty good. Not exactly sure. Sometimes it's random. I'll see you in game 1. All right, starting on the play here, and we've got Falcon into Reasonable Doubt, into Disguise, into Tracker, and yeah, seems good to me. I'm already kind of second-guessing my choice to go 16 lands on this deck, but I'm going to see how it goes for at least a couple games here, and then maybe choose to go 17 if I really am mana hungry with this deck, but we'll see. Also, as we get started here, if you wouldn't mind giving the channel a subscription, if you are enjoying the content, we have 7 days of content here on the channel per week. Every single day we've got a video, most limited. 6 out of 7 are usually limited videos with some historic brawl thrown in there as well. So if you enjoy the content here on the channel and you are new and you are not yet subscribed, go ahead and drop a subscription. Helps out the analytics of the channel. And if you want to give back in a monetary way, I do also have a Patreon with a link in the description. You can check out what benefits you can receive via the Patreon as well. So thanks for your consideration in advance. Now we have to decide if we want to crack this clue. And I think the answer is yes. I want to make sure I hit my land drops. Didn't need to cast Reasonable Doubt. That's a pretty darn good draw. So I can play Novice Inspector and hold up Reasonable Doubt here. I think that's what I'm going to do rather than playing Granite Witness. The longer the game goes, the worse Reasonable Doubt gets, which is why I'm doing it this way. Because next turn we also have the lands to play Griffknot Tracker if we want to as well. I'm likely just going to counter whatever they play here. Even if it's a disguised creature, that's fine by me. Because we kind of have the perfect curve here. Yeah, that's a fine enough counter for me. And sure, I'll make it suspected. That might not work out for me in the end, but I think I'll go Griffknot Tracker. Because Novice Inspector might just be a better blocker, but this at least pushes a couple of damage in the meantime. Currently have 2 artifacts. If I draw land, I can play this Disguised and also flip it up, which would be pretty good. If I don't draw land, I can play Consultant and eat a clue. And unfortunately, this is not really looking to be a case of the Filch Falcon game. I'm going to need to hit my land drops and already being punished for going for 16, so already slightly convinced that I might want 17 here. And a card like Hotshot, like if this were a land right now, how much better would this hand be? Quite a bit better. I think that might be the change that I make. Another Eavesdropper. Oof. Okay, yeah, you've got some power and toughness on the board, that's for sure. Let's do this. And attack all. I think I'm okay trading Seasoned Consultant. I don't think they will, though. That's the thing. Oh, okay. They chose to. That's fine by me. End the turn. Gonna go ahead and undisguise this pre-combat so their Eavesdropper can't attack. And then I could do the same thing next turn and probably win in the air. Looks like I might have made the correct choice in suspecting my novice inspector here. See if they go for the clue and vigilance. No, they're not going to go for it. I'll still do this, though. Okay, up to 6 lands now. I guess we start by just attacking and seeing what they have. I mean, they're currently going to, what, 4 right now? Okay. Sure. I think I'll use the tempo. Ooh, look at that. They had a conspiracy unraveler in the deck. Let's just do a Granite Witness, and I guess I could do 2, and then they're like next turn just flip them both up, and they're basically kind of just dead from that. Because I can just tap down whatever I want to. Yeah, Case of the Filched Falcon. Not doing much here, but it's okay. It did replace itself, which sometimes is enough. Well, it's also pretty good. There's a lot of ways I could do this here. Let's start by doing this. And technically this is lethal, so they're going to have to do something about one of these creatures here. In fact, if I attack with this and undisguise this one, then and pay the ward, then they have to do something about 2 of these. Or like one of these and one of these. So let's just go for that. I mean, they've only got 2 cards in hand, right? I guess I should have done it pre-combat here to give it vigilance, but I mean, like, it's fine. It's basically the same thing. We did hit 6 lands already, though, which is basically the most we want in this deck, so I guess Hotshot Investigators could have been pretty good there. I'll give it at least one more with 16. We'll see where to go from there. Starting on the draw this time. Hand is great. The fact that we're on the draw is not so great. But that's okay. Do I play Consultant or do I play Reasonable Doubt on 2? Let's see what their turn 2 play is. Gravestone Strider. Don't care about that. I think I'm just going to hold up Reasonable Doubt. I don't think Consultant really does much on this board right now. And we are quite a far ways away from 3 creatures. So I'm just going to try to counter whatever 3-drop they have, even if it's a disguised creature. Well, now they know we have Reasonable Doubt, which is pretty horrible. So that was like worst case scenario. Absolute worst case scenario we could have had there. Let's do this, because this way next turn we can flip this up and still hold up Reasonable Doubt and cast Consultant. Yeah, so that was... I mean, I did not expect from their 3-colored lands to be playing a Fester Leech, but that is what happened. And it worked out for them quite well. Milled 2 cards, pretty good. Milled 6 total. Let's see if they have the Edict effect that makes us sack a creature here now. That wouldn't be great for us. Also, flipping this up, targeting inside source is pretty good. See, that's what I wanted to be able to get last turn. Did they play around it because they saw the reasonable doubt? That's unfortunate if they did. Okay, so let's do this. I might flip this on the Sharp-Eyed Rookie. It just depends. Okay, no blocks. They're just going to pump it and cast a disguised creature, maybe. Two lands. Yeah, that's what I was worried they had last turn. I guess I can do this now. And then suspect a creature? No, I don't think I will. Let's just get rid of that. Hopefully we draw land. Really awkward here now. Guess I could do exit and flip up this. I could just do out cold. I might just do out cold here. I'd like to get more creatures down. I just, it's not the most mana efficient way to do that. Let's just do out cold. And again, now hoping for more lands, so I think after this game, I will go ahead and switch to 17. That's now 2 games where I've felt a little bit choked on mana a couple of times. That card is, as the French say, garbage. I don't know if that's what the French say, I'm just guessing. Or as the English-speaking folk say, garbage. At least in my opinion. Watch them just completely wreck me with it here. We'll see. Stuck on mana yet again. I guess I just play Griffknot Tracker and then exile their Extract a Confession among... and a land, maybe? Sure, take 2. Yeah, I guess I'll just do this. Alright, go ahead. Here come the flyers. We can attack with 3 or more creatures next turn. Well, they are playing the removal color, so it's likely we won't be able to do that, but you never know. Okay, down goes Griffin Tracker. And you hit us for 3. Sure. Would very much like a land here. I can also, interestingly... just stuck. Hmm. Doesn't feel good doing this. This is obviously a bit of a risk. But I'm gonna risk it to try to find that land here. Again, we are playing 17, so not what I meant. It is a land, it's just not exactly how I meant to draw one here. Let's draw, I don't know. Doesn't really matter here. Okay, at least we do now have 5, but... When does this get returned at the next... Oh no, it just blinks it immediately. Doesn't go with the next end step. Not that I'm gonna, like, do that. I would like to do that with Inside, so... Hello. What could they get here? A Griffin Tracker? Yeah, look what I'd be able to track her. How is this worded? If you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tap. Otherwise, its controller creates. So no, it's not if you owned it. So if I were to flip this and do that, I don't get the 2/2. I don't get... Yeah, I don't think that works the way I want it to. Also, wrecking our Crime Stopper sprite here. As far as collecting evidence. Sure. Yeah, so if you controlled it, return it to the battlefield tap. I did not control it. Otherwise, its controller, which is them, makes a 2/2. So, do not want to exile that. I can binding the rookie next turn, so let's just go to 9. Another land would be good, although they just milled a couple. This comes back to my hand now. And land is great. So now, how do we do this? Sprite can't evidence anymore. I can makeshift binding and play Inside Source. That's pretty good. Let's do that on the rookie here, and then play the Inside Source. And now I think we've turned the corner a little bit. And then pass here. Let's see if they just start trying to do Cryptex. Nope, okay. They're at least 6 turns away from drawing 3 cards with this thing. Sack the clue, sure. Festerleech getting on in here. I guess I can trade it. Trade it for the 2/2. Nope, trade it for Seasoned Consultant, sure. They don't particularly like clicking through their priority. They just kind of like sitting on it for a little bit. Meh. Let's do... let's just do this. Get in here and here. And I plan on blinking my inside source for another 2/2. Okay, I don't even need to do that right now then. So then I'll play Griffknot Tracker and hold up that ability. Get 2 big cards out of their yard. Definitely this one. And that one seems good. All right, they have a counter. Blood Spatter Analysis. So do I save my creature now? Yeah, I think I will. Sure, you have another counter. Let's see if you have anything left in hand. What does this even do? When 1 or more creatures die, you get to do things. And then if you have 5 or more, sure. Okay. Oh, that is the absolute worst card we could have possibly drawn because of the Agency Outfitter here. Ugh, not great, not great. All the cards in the deck to draw. It's got to be that one there. So let's do this. Let's get in here. I don't feel like trading off for their morph just yet. And then I think I'll do this, and then I can kind of flip this up and start getting some more tempo next turn, have better attacks. The Thinking Cap should go a long way. If we draw land, we can play both of these. If I don't want to undisguise that. Can't really block that, unfortunately, because they do have more than 4 mana. They have 5 or more, so... Hellion, Vengeful Creeper, kill the make... Okay, look at that. There you go. That is certainly something. Probably going to have to leave this unmorphed. So 1, 2, done, done. Okay, so I can... What if I pay 3? So I pay 3. I can do it all. So pay 3, pay 2, play this, and equip it. So play this. Equip Detective. Let's equip. Doesn't really matter. And then we go 1, 2, 3. Doesn't have vigilance, doesn't know. So do this. Give it here. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. So they're not dead. So we have to play a little bit defensively. And now in the turn, Granite Witness is going to flip and tap down the creeper here. And then they're dead on the backswing. If they attack, I probably have to make some blocks, unfortunately. Does this require... Okay, I can make that have... Yeah, so I am going to have to make some blocks here. So let's do... Just make sure I don't die to some random burn spell or something. I think I'd actually rather keep the Granite Witness. So let's do this. And what is their last card here? Is it a board wipe? The double black board wipe? I would hate for it to be that. Izoni. Oh. Jeez. Well, that is a good last card to have, I'll tell you that. In fact, that exactly saves them. Of course it does. So if I attack with everything, they have to block both. Izoni's got Menace, though. And that's a 5/5. One of these is going to have... No, none of them have Vigilance. Oh, this has Vigilance. So they block. They block. They take 4. We then have this and this untapped, which technically does survive. Gosh, Izoni being your last card, really? You kidding me? What if I equip the thinking cap on this thing? This is a 3/2, that's a... Oh, it doesn't really change much. So they go to 1 and trade, double trade here. Izoni attacks. It can't actually... Notably, it can't collect evidence on attacks. Oh, okay. It can't really do anything. Because we've only got the thinking cap here, so decline. And I can't move it, because then the Griffnot will die, so... Alright. Go ahead. We are still not dead to removal. Does Izoni have reach as well? No. Do they have a trick? Go to 1. All right. Tough game there, man. We're really fighting. I'm going to go ahead and move it down to go up to 17 lands here. I think that's what we need for this deck. Okay, opponent goes first. We've got both colors of mana. It's hard to mulligan that. Even if we are a little bit slow here, I think it's important to still just, you know, not mulligan when you can, and also, you know, get beaten down by a red-black aggro deck. But we do have Out Cold to really, like, mess them up here and, like, slow them down quite a bit. Yeah, I'll play a 2-2. I mean, just get something on the board. And then next turn, probably just Out Cold a couple of bigger threats. I will block if they let me here, notably. Unscrupulous Agent. Okay, well I do have an extra land this time I can get rid of. Okay, let's just cast Out Cold and plan to block their agent here, I guess? Do they have shock? Looks like they have shock. That's not great for us. This could also just be that that rare that flips up and deals damage to our face. Alright, I'll trade for your combat trick. That's what it was. Felonious Rage. Okay, you get a 2-2. Another agent. What do we get rid of now? I think this is not going to be a case of the Pilfered Proof game, unfortunately. We just kind of need our creatures here. Let's cast Tracker. Get rid of their 2 cards here, and then if we draw a land, we can Sprite and crack a Clue. If we don't draw a land, we can potentially set back. Can set back like their token, potentially. Could also just Out Cold again. We're gonna be fighting the stabilization battle this whole game. I can feel that. And then pass and crack the Clue and see where to go from here. Continually try to trade. I can't block this thing because they've got 5 mana. It could be anything. Who knows what it is? Yeah, the fact that they're attacking with the agent too doesn't make me feel great. Let's see if it's another Felonious Rage here, just to get another 2-2. Offender at large, so push a ton of damage. Yeah, okay, take 8, go to 5. Alright, cast out cold. That's about all we can do. I have another Felonious Rage or Shock in hand, notably. Alright, they've got a good red-black deck here. Gotta give it to them, that's for sure. Oh, it has haste. That's what it does. Okay, like the only time you're ever gonna basically use that thing for haste. Good for them. It was the Felonious Rage, notably. Alright, I don't know how we survive here. The answer is we don't, we die. Okay, good for them. They had a great curve out. Couldn't really do anything about it. Starting on the play this time. Got a pretty darn good hand. Gonna go ahead and lead on our tap land and get a blue so we can cast Sudden Setback. Consultant into Inspector. And no, I'm not going to sandbag the Consultant just to get an extra Inspector trigger here. Just going to play the Consultant on 2. Tunnel Tipster. Can't kill that. Okay, so let's attack. Sure they won't block. Inspector and see if we draw something. Gotta get rid of. Guess I'll get rid of the land. We still have our 4th land here. 4 lands for them. Hide in plain sight. How many times have I played against this card? This card is stupid. I've yet to play with it, and I think I've played against it 3 or 4 times, at least. It's a very good card. I guess I'll offer this trade and don't expect them to take it. If they do, I'll cast Eliminate the Impossible here. What doesn't... it's random as to which is which. Hopefully I killed the right one. Ooh, I think I did. And then now do I exit this Tunnel Tipster right now so they can't use the mana on their turn? I think I will do that. Yeah, land is actually okay. I can disguise the Witness and untap it. And then undisguise it next turn. Sudden Setback has been a little clunky. 4 mana is just a lot of mana. Ugh. Busted card after busted card. Alright, let's bluff an attack here. One, two, three, four, 5 mana. Do I trade? I don't think I'm going to. Ah, they said no anyway. Okay, Tunnel Tipster and Disguise Creature. Yeah. Case of the Pilfered Proof hasn't been great. Okay, pass the turn, I guess, and hold up flipping this if I really need to. Which it flips into a 4/3. Or I can cast Sudden Setback if they have some card I need to temporarily counter. Was that Memory Lapse, kind of? I have 8 mana. Alright, I guess I just put this problem off till next turn. I could solve this right now, but I need to use this to tap something down, especially if they try to cast Bustle again. I can attempt... I could have played that and tapped down one of their disguises. I guess I'll have to tap down the Tunnel Tipster. I'd like to make them think I potentially have something, though. Oh, and they turn a creature they control face up. Okay, that could be good for us as far as the Granite Witness here, if they have just some big thing. But if it's a big thing... Okay. Then now I have to deal with a 5/5. Oh, I should have done it in response. Then I'd have a 4/3. Oh, that was so bad. Yeah, that was just a punt. That was my mistake. Honestly, it still would have traded. So I guess it doesn't technically change anything. Yeah, nothing really changed. I've had worse draws. But how do we deal with a 5/5 now? We've already used at least one out cold? No, we haven't. So we have, I think, 2 more left in the deck. That was last game. And what else you got? Maverick Thopterist? Ugh. Sure. Land. 2/2 and 2/1/1 flyers. Search my library for a thinking cap. Equip. equip this and attack, I guess? I just don't know if we're going to be able to push through here. Especially once these things eventually untap. Out Cold would be another decent draw, but they've got 2 Thopters now. Yeah, they're just playing multicolored good stuff, and it's good stuff, that's for sure. Our tempo deck hasn't really drawn. Yeah, there's another clean old 2-for-1. I mean, Out Cold is the best draw I can think of. Okay, that's something. I'm probably gonna have to exile their 5/5 just because I can't really deal with that right now. Okay, so removal is going to blow this out pretty badly, but we are so far behind that we kind of have to... I mean, I could just let it bounce, or I could just try to trade Novice Inspector for it, but the problem is if they have removal on the Consultant, then the Novice Inspector is going to get eaten here, which is also really bad. Yeah, see, now I can either... I think this might be more of a problem. Yeah, so I have to do this in response now and kill my own Gatekeeper. Because I do get to keep 2 creatures that way. Okay, I said Out Cold was one of the better draws we had. This would make this a... If I flip this over here, that would put it at a 3/5. Doesn't change the math at all. Yeah, we are really just struggling to keep up is the problem. And I guess I'll do a Thopter. They're going too wide. Can't get through. There's our last Out Cold. So I can put another stun counter on this thing, right? Yeah, they stack, so... Let's do this. Get rid of 6. So 1, I can just do this. Put it here. Go to combat. Do I have to start trying to push a little bit? No, I think I'm going to move the thinking cap over here. Hold up, out cold. How many cards left? 14? Alright, well, I suppose I have to start trying to attack somehow. And I guess this too, then? Sure. I mean, gives me more bodies? They are flooding pretty hard here. What if I, like, just really go for it and, like, tap down their 1/1 and then give this +2/+0 and hit him for 5, but then I can't get through the rest? They're probably just going to chump here. I need to get rid of the Hellion with the Sprite, I think. So what do we do with this one? We give it to the seasoned consultant. It attacks as a 5/3. We attack with everything. Well, everything except the 2/2, I guess. Well, no, because they have a 3/3. We're doing our best here. It's a really close game. I still think they're in the lead, but we are trying our best. Okay, let's get rid of Tipster. Let's play Sprite, collect evidence 6. Tap down. I mean, it's got to be Hellion, I think. And I can move this without it dying here, so let's move it. Let's move it here. Okay, 11-9. They have the biggest creatures on the board. Okay, we're trying. Do they have removal? They block, go to 6. Play Jaded Analyst and move Thinking Cap. Here again, they're at 6. They don't have any more flyers, and they're currently dead on board next turn. If they don't have anything, because of our double Sprite here. Double Sprite plus Inside Source is lethal in the air. Although, never mind, they've got a Riftburst Hellion, which has reach, so that solves that. We've used all 3 out colds. Yeah, so we've tapped down as much as we can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 6 lands left in our last 10 cards, which is not great news. +2/+0 and first strike and a clue. Okay. Red herring. Sack it, probably. Yeah. Tin Street Gossip. Okay, removal spell wins it. I don't know if we have one, though. Yeah, I didn't think we did. So I can equip Thinking Cap, Inside Source, the other one, they eat it, they go to like 3. It still just doesn't like do much for us is the problem. Okay, go ahead. Top deck war, but they're close to dead, but like so are we. Thinking about where to attack with, maybe? Yeah. Okay. So we block somehow. Take 4, I guess. Oh, do they have +3/+3 and trample? Do they draw a removal spell? No? Okay. Sure. Oh, that's so bad. I guess I can suspect my own sprite to get it past this thing. That is an option. But that still takes 2 turns. Really close here. Can't remember what else is left in our deck. I took out the bounce 6-drop, the hotshot investigators. That'd be really good here, but Unyielding Gatekeeper would also be good, but that's dead. Do we have another Granite Witness? I think we do, actually. Ooh, I think we have one more Granite Witness in the deck, which would be lethal. Oh. Okay. We still have to try it, though. Let's have this become suspected. And then I have to sacrifice the one that's not suspected, but then at that point, we might be, like, dead. Really? That was it? Come on. It's a pretty good attack. It's basically, I was going to say Granite Witness or bust, but I mean, Really? That had to be the card? Oh, makeshift binding. We could have one last turn if that was the top card. Ugh. Okay. I think we still... Alright. I haven't done the math, but... They are dead next turn now. Alright. What can they draw? We're at 9. If they draw a land, we win. Forgot we had the binding as well. Incredible match here. Okay, in comes the gossip. I think I got a trade for it. What else you got? Okay. No other choice but to do this here and see if they have anything in hand. Oh my gosh. What a game. What an incredible game. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. That was certainly one for the books. Great game if you're out there, whatever your street spirit. Win or lose, that was an incredible game. Alright, let's pick it up here. The hand is a little bit slow. What I like about Sprite is that, at the very least, it's a 3-mana 2/2 flyer, which can put some pressure on them if it has to. So, I mean, we can play that on 3. Novice Inspector on 1. You hate to see it. Oh, that I do love to see, because I don't care in the slightest about that card. Red, white, red herring. Okay, let me recast that. And I don't need a 4th island. Seasoned Consultant. Well, that blocks the red herring, and I can save the Sprite. Next turn I can go Griffknot Tracker. So, that's the reason I played this here. Disguise creature, sure. Makeshift Binding, not a bad draw. Let's just go Tracker. We don't get any graveyard equity, but they're playing red-white. I don't think we really need it. And then next turn, we probably out cold at least a couple of things here. Market Watch Phantom and holding red herring back. Okay. What else they got here? They have removal for the tracker? Looks like they might. No? Okay. Guess I'll just cast Out Cold on... Oh, you hate to see Dogwalker. So I guess Out Cold on Dogwalker and Phantom, I suppose? Ugh. All of the great cards here. Sure, I guess that dies. I don't know if I need to use Makeshift Binding yet. So let's do this, lock down this thing, and probably just plan on cracking our clue here. And And if they have, what's it called? Out, or on the job, then we're just mega dead. Oh, that has reach as well. And they can sack an artifact. They don't even need to. Alright, so I think we're just pretty dead, pretty hard here. Is there a way we can somehow survive this onslaught? What if we hit for 5, they go to 9, we play a sprite. Next turn we have 5, 6, 7, they go to 2. 2 is not 0. The thing is, nothing we have really blocks super profitably here. I don't know what we could have, but, I mean... It's also probably not a race we win. Got another dog walker, maybe? Yeah, here comes everything. So we're taking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, going to 5. Again, I don't know what we can have here. That doesn't really do it. So I guess we hold things back and just, you know, they flip the dog walker and cast on the job and we lose. Seasoned consultant. That has flying. Sure. One, two, three, four, five, 6, and dead. Yep, red, white. Yeah, here come the speed of the format. I said it wasn't fast in the last few drafts, and that's certainly not fun to play against. We're up first this time, and the hand is also slow. I guess I don't like playing this on 2. It's just... we have so much planned for 3 and 4 and 5 that just getting a creature down might be good. Play this on 2, Insight Source on 3, Tracker on 4. Unless we draw something better here. Well, it's not better, but it is a tap land that makes me sequence things a little bit differently here. Also, we're on the play, so that helps our tempo at least a little bit more. 1 drop, 2 drop. In the R&D was like, let's put Disguise in a format. You know, 3 mana 2/2s, that'll slow it down. Rebel Belt Maverick into Sanitation Automaton. Welcome to Limited in 2024. Just gonna go ahead and do this one here. Hopefully our Griffknot Tracker can nab their Crocodile out of the graveyard, because I would like them to not be able to collect evidence for that much. Inside source of your own, sure. Land of my own, sure. So let's get this and this here. Happy to trade. Leaving up specifically a green mana so they can cast, this is just Nervous Gardener. Or Nurturing Gardener, or whatever it's called. And end the turn. They flip this up as a Nervous Gardener, go get a land. And then we can tap that down with the Granite Witness here. Keep the pressure coming with six powers of flyers. Yeah, may as well. I mean, I guess it exposes it to removal without the ward, but, I mean... Okay, well, clearly can't block now. They're going to attack 2 1/1s into my 3/2. So now we know they have some sort of combat trick. I do believe I will be flipping this on their crowd control ward in here. It doesn't have reach, does it? No. So I'll be flipping this up and turning that into a 2/2. So I do this. I flip it up, turn that into a 2/2, and then it trades with the Gardener. Clearly they have combat tricks. It's +3/+3 and trample, maybe? That would let this get through. Yeah, I'll let them do that. They're still dead in 2 turns, technically. And now they'll use their trick. Unfortunately, this only has a mana value of 2. It is the +3 in trample, fanatical strength. That's what I thought it was. So we still can't collect evidence here, which would be nice. If we draw a land, we can agency outfitter, get the thinking cap onto the board, and immediately equip it, which would be pretty good. Okay, that's some counters. Yeah. That's pretty good. What does that do? Whenever you attack, put a counter on something, it gains trample. Okay, so they've got a bunch of creatures. Dang. Okay, that gets rid of a creature and turns the clock into a 3-turn clock from a 1-turn clock. That's rough. Take 4, take 5. Do they still have a trick? I guess not a lethal trick this turn. Okay, I think I gotta do this now. Try to prevent them from having some sort of crazy trick against me here. Gonna lock down the Gardener as a 3/3. Get in here. Still not dead to another Fanatical Strength at the moment. And they are dead on board next turn. Do I have any? I guess I have a Thinking Cap I could draw here. Ah, so close. Okay. So I can't really block with the Sprite if they do choose to attack here. And if they don't have an answer to either of these flyers, then that could be good news for us. That's an answer to the flyer. Once again, top decking answers like it's nobody's business here. I think I have to play this slow, unfortunately. I mean, all these things untap next turn, so I need to gain some life and exit something, probably. I could Outfitter, get a Thinking Cap, equip the Thinking Cap, attack with both, make them chump. But then I'm still at 7. They have +1/+1 and trample, and I still think they have another Fanatical Strength here. So I think I'm going to play this slow and use my removal. Because this still, the Sprite is still now lethal again next turn if they don't find an answer. I'm still just suspicious of the Fanatical Strength in hand. I've got Unauthorized Exit if they somehow go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have to block. I mean, I don't have to. I could exit if they go for it, but... Oh my gosh. Top deck after top deck. Oh. This is a non-land permanent. I can get back Makeshift Binding if they don't indeed... Although this gains 2 life, which is still out of range here. This is just so frustrating. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll make them go for it here. Well, let's do this and see if they do indeed go for it. Well, okay, so 7. If it is Fanatical Strength, we have to use Exit on this thing and not on the Binding. But if it's not Fanatical Strength, we can exit the Binding, use this, get Thinking Cap, equip the Gargoyle, and win. So right now we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still not lethal with Fanatical Strength, so they... Yeah, we're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should still be okay. Let's pass to damage. Go to 4. Do this. That's not great. Now do this and get thinking cap, and it's got to be enough. Search my library, get thinking cap, put it on the battlefield. Equip detective. And that's 4 power. These games have been back and forth. Nice. I do still think it was Fanatical Strength, and we played around it yet again. I think that's one of my strengths as a player, is playing around cards that I think they have and eventually getting to the win, so. Alright, I'm up first this time. Unauthorized exit, we'll have to go very far with this hand. I don't think it's very good. We do have 17 lands in the deck. This could be very risky. Obviously a very bad keep here, but this does surveil if we do get a little bit behind. There's a land, that's good. What's the 2-drop? V2 Ghazi Inspector. Let me just bounce it just cuz. Yeah, I'll take an escape tunnel, why not? That is a land. I guess I should have held on to that so they think I have something here. So I can bluff some sort of spell, but it's probably not the end of the world. You have a disguised creature. Out cold or sudden setback. Or Griff not tracker. We could start trying to beat down in the air. Let's get a creature down here. See if we can try to start beating down a little bit. And while we do play our tempo plays, we can actually have a creature that's attacking while we do it. Though they are in green-red, there's many ways to remove a 3/2, including Case of the Burning Mask. Take 2. All of the tempo in the world. They do still have shock, by the way, so we're going to have to keep that in mind, too. Alright, we'll just use one of these here now. Projector Inspector. Yeah. This sudden setback just has been a little bit too clunky for me. I just have never wanted to keep it up. Here comes the shock, I assume. Draw a card. Ugh. Miss a land drop. And get shocked. There it is. Okay. Six mana. No plays. Did find a land. Let's do this and see if they want to flip this thing up. We can turn it into a 2/2 potentially. Yeah, I thought it was a Hellion. So we'll pass. We will turn that into a 2/2, and we can do it in response to attacks here. I can't imagine they'll attack with the V2 Ghazi Inspector, but... Oof. Okay. Still got to be this thing I got to get rid of, I think. Doesn't have trample. But let's do this. Turn that into a 2/2. Take 4. Outcold can't be countered, so we can keep the Axebane Ferox tapped down here through the collect evidence ward without having to collect evidence. Another shock. Must be nice. So collect evidence 6, 1, 2, and then we can pay the ward to do this right now. That lets me crack a clue and hit a land drop. Yeah, I think that's better than casting out cold. So let's do 6. Target this. We can collect evidence 4. Keep that locked down. They have another shock? What do you have? See if we hit a land drop here. Nope. Sure. Go to 9. Innocent bystander. Got all the creatures. That is now solved. Missed land drop again. Pilfered Proof has been horrible in this deck. End the search because it can't be countered, so I don't have to collect evidence. Take 3. That double Riftburst Hellion? Holy cow. We just have not drawn lands. We put in an extra land here and couldn't find it, unfortunately. So I think there's really no way we win this. I mean, we're doing the best we can. We just have not been able to cast enough spells each turn here. Down goes Sprite, go to 3. They have all the removal and all the creatures, and we have none of the lands that are helping us cast our spells. So yeah, we're officially dead. Outcold this and this, block that, take 3. Darn, I think the deck was slightly better than 4 and 3, but you know, just play a bunch of creatures and have us stumble a little bit, and that's usually good enough to beat us a little bit. Although we did have one of the best games of the entire format so far. So even though the draft didn't end up quite as well as I would have wanted to with the blue-white deck here, that game against the that player in Mythic, that 800 number Mythic player was a great game. So I consider the draft a win. Hope you guys enjoyed Blue-White Detectives here today. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.